Welcome back to the official Atari Games podcast. This is Jason here, and I'm joined by two fine gentlemen making their return appearance, I believe for the third time. We got Ivan Zorzin, the GOAT at Llamasoft.
Yeah,
Ivan, welcome back.
thanks.
And we
Ready to
got
perform my duties.
and we have the immortal Jeff Minter, the Ox of
Hey.
Llamasoft. Welcome back, Jeff. Always good, always good to see you. Um, Now, it's not really a traditional podcast. We haven't actually done anything like this before, and I'll explain what we're actually doing. But before that, I have to go through a little bit of house cleaning. First of all, this is episode 54 of the Atari Games podcast. Now, if you're a listener, you might be wondering, hey, what happened to episode 53? Well, the answer is episode 53 has been recorded. It is produced. It is ready to go. It was meant to coincide with an announcement of a thing that didn't actually happen. Now, it's not my intention to slip that into the schedule. No, when that announcement happens, I will release episode 53. Therefore, the order will be weird. You might see episode 53 releasing after 54, but everything is fine, everything's normal, everything's cool, even if all the housekeeping in that is a bit out of date. Now, what's not out of date is the usual housekeeping. First of all, review the podcast. That would be very nice. We'd love your feedback. We'd love those 5-star reviews. If you got some negative stuff to say, still give it 5 stars, but then put a bunch of negative stuff. I'll read it no matter what. Join the Discord. Talk to fellow Atari fans. You can join that. That link's below in the description. And look, we're not explicitly talking about iRobot, but this is definitely in celebration of the release of iRobot is why we're here. And that is the latest Llamasoft joint. So support these fellas and get iRobot, available now on all platforms. And by the time this releases, fingers crossed, it will either be out or imminently available on the VCS. So very exciting stuff there. Then I could say it's on all platforms except mobile, I guess, but whatever.
Yeah, well, mobile could
Uh,
do one.
Fair enough. Get that. We'll look forward to that news article. Thanks, Jeff. Now we are talking about the iRebel Game Jam that was run in April. This was put on. We had a contest, and the goals were to basically create a game in a week's time. If you're not familiar with the Game Jam, so let me bring up. I actually had this tab up, but just had to do a reboot of the computer. So I will give you the quick rules. Create a game Jeff Minter will love. Unlock your inner Jeff Minter to create a game all your own, and the original indie game developer himself will judge it. After a secret theme is revealed, each participant has 7 days to submit a game that incorporates that theme. The goal is to wow Jeff and a panel of judges with your creativity and skill. 3 winners will receive a mystery prize pack. Now, the secret theme was the perfect beast. Okay. And the panel of judges are the 3 of us. So here we are. Now, as I did not try to I did not put myself on equal ground with these two. They were the lion's share, but we did have a very spirited and fun discussion. And we did identify 3 winners and even have a couple honorable mentions. And I thought, hey, what would be a good way to celebrate those winners and just have a fun little episode of the podcast, if not to play and talk about those games? So, first of all, if you submitted your entries to the Game Jam, thank you very much. This was my first time really judging anything like this, and it was a lot of fun to do and see all the entrants. There was about 40 entries, which is kind of wild that they were able to put together a game in 7 days, and there was a lot of impressive stuff. And then there was a lot of other stuff. But you know what? We're here to celebrate here. And before we get into the game, maybe I'll just ask you guys, what did you think of the experience? How did you enjoy playing all the games that were submitted?
Yeah, it was good fun. It was interesting to play through them all. I was quite overwhelmed. There were so many entries. It took a while to work through them all, and I felt I had to play them to a reasonable extent to give each one a fair chance. And it took me a couple of days to work through them. But yeah, there's some nice stuff in there. There's a few standouts which you'll see. Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I want to say that
Cool.
it's been really. We did check the games quite carefully. I mean, I made a lot of notes about each game, and some of them unfortunately didn't quite work. But it's been difficult choice. I mean, it hasn't been an easy choice to say what to put in the first three, what to put in the last. I mean, there was a lot of good stuff and a lot of potentially even more good stuff. That if we know that if you had more time to improve it, it could have been better. But we had to judge what we got. So it hasn't
Exactly.
been easy. It hasn't
And
been easy to choose.
seven days to put together one game is kind of
Yeah,
it's
Yeah,
fast,
it's kind of
really
crazy,
fast.
really. It's kind of mad. I mean, I actually made the original Vic 20 grid runner in 7 days.
Oh, okay. So it's not that hard. That's what you're trying to say.
It's not that common either. I don't think.
That's let's tease it out a little further, and I want to lean into this because this is often a fun topic of conversation. Someone who's been around the industry and making games for so long, what is the largest contributing factor to games taking so much longer now versus the 7 days it took for you to make grid runners? Like if I said, hey, you know what, make grid runners again, just do the same thing, but again, now would it take 7 days or would it take about 7 months?
Well, I guess it depends how many assets you want to put in there. I mean, people expect a lot more assets these days. So you've got to source
Yeah,
assets. People expect a lot more in terms of like you've got to have music and all kinds of extra stuff. Whereas before, all you had was some basic character graphics and some zappy sound effects and what you hope was a reasonable idea. So yeah, there's a lot more work to be done to put together a complete game. There's also people expect high score tables and online scoreboards and bloody achievements and things. There's all kinds of extra peripheral
Yeah, I
stuff
was about to
now,
say
which is
you also
expected
to
of you.
consider
Yeah, exactly. You've
all
got
the
to talk
different
to everything
words,
as
all the
well.
certification process.
yeah,
So yeah,
yeah.
it takes a lot longer. And also, people expect games. That now people say, "Oh, how long is your game?" They expect hours and hours and hours and hours of different gameplay in it. Whereas in the old days, you used to make an arcade game that was one or two or three levels that repeated over and over again. So now people want 50 levels, 100 levels, and it takes quite a long time to put those things together. In a way, some of the levels, like in iRobot, almost look like little games in themselves, in that they have to be designed and tweaked and you have to make sure that they all work well. And when you extend that over for like 50 levels, it takes a long time.
I want to mention also because some of this game we saw there, okay, we didn't judge about it, but it has to be said. There is also so much that goes into the UI of a game, testing that work with the joystick, that work with the other, it's clean, that it works as expected, that there are some instructions, that it works, and all the stuff takes a lot of time, and it makes a
Yeah,
difference. I mean,
that kind of stuff is what I call the bureaucratic phase of the release, where you've got to conform to all the rules, you've got to make sure all the buttons do the right things, and all the online stuff. That takes a bloody long time.
I know Ivan loves a PS5 activity, right? You'll love it.
don't mention it. Don't.
You've got to get the
I still
Italian
have an
swear
open.
word starting again if you're not careful.
I still have an open
Yeah,
support
yeah.
ticket about those with Sony that I haven't fully resolved because I couldn't make
Hey,
it.
how much of a window do we have to get that blasphemous language back in the game and then remove it before the next pope shows up? Like,
Oh,
how
that's
much
right.
time do we
Yeah,
have
we
to do that?
could stick it back in for a couple of weeks there.
Yeah, you're cool with that, right, Ivan?
I
Nope,
can send
getting
you
a
the
blank stare.
samples.
Again, fair. And the funny thing is, he's the one who would have to finalize that build. That's the funniest part about it. It's like he is the master of this actual thing. All right, we have enough of those shenanigans. Somebody, if people are watching this and they want to know who are the winners, all right, well then let's get into it. And if
But
you're, and I
is it
implore
this live
you,
at the moment? People are watching this.
n-
It's not
no,
going to.
no, no, no,
Okay.
no. We're recording on a Monday. These go live on Friday.
Okay.
Also,
So
you might
people
also
will be
just see
hearing what
the
you're saying, so
announcements.
be careful.
Yeah, yeah. But people might. I'm assuming that we'll have a post that says these are the winners. I don't think this is actually how they'll find out who the winners are. But do go online. Do watch this on YouTube because I'm going to be playing through the games as we talk about them. And let's get started with the first one. So our first winner is Star Giraffe. Oh wait, hang on a
Hey.
second.
Yay.
Yeah, Star Giraffe by. I have too many windows open. We'll get there eventually. Here we go. Star Giraffe, Dr. Ludo. He's a doctor. He's in France. Congratulations. He says Star Giraffe is an Atari 2600 space shooter featuring a mutant giraffe with an incredibly long neck and the ability to shoot lasers. So it's definitely the perfect beast for space. I mean, what more could you want out of a game than that? And I'm just making sure that this is recording. Well, good. Okay, sweet. So let's play a little bit of Star Giraffe.
I
Well,
love
there
how
are, to be
stupid it looks.
honest, a few little suggestions that could improve the game, but
Oh, wait, here. I'm going to go full screen.
That's right. He's hitting the back of your neck. Yeah,
Love it.
I like the messages that come up during it. That's all very Llamasofty. But I just love how daft it looks.
Yeah, it's honestly like when I played it, I was like, this is a 2600 game I want to play.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, if I'd had this on a 2600 back in the day, I'd have really enjoyed it.
Yeah,
yeah, well, that to say
absolutely.
there is
It would
only
have been a smash hit.
two suggestions.
I
One,
love the
we
bit
all say
waggles
that
about when it falls down.
Go ahead, Ivan.
there is only two
Let's get your.
suggestions, but I think one we all agree they should have done that. The higher you shoot the thing, the more points you make, because it's much more difficult to shoot the one at height. You get the same score for each one of them, but if you stretch the neck longer, you'll put yourself a bigger risk. So there should be a little bit of more reward.
I would have tied scoring to neck length. That would be a simple
Yeah,
thing
exactly.
to
He
increase
would
the
have done that on
reward.
the 8th. The doctor would have done that on the 8th day, but he ran out of time. Oh man, this is not looking good. What did you? So, what was your first impression when you saw this game?
I just really like it. It made me laugh more than anything else. I mean, the moment, even when I saw the video before I started playing it, I thought, I'm going to like this because that giraffe with the long neck and its head going up and down just looks so daft and
To me, it
cool.
was impressive because they say this is exactly the type of game you would expect to see on a Atari 2600 at the time. I mean, if it would have been at the time, I ought to say this would have been almost a perfect game for you. You would expect it to do really good.
Well, so
Yeah,
I think
absolutely. I agree.
It's definitely very Llamasofty in that the giraffe itself looks a bit silly, which is really nice. But I like the messages as well. You know what I'm like with sticking weird messages in my game. It's got the weird messages
Oh,
as
yeah.
well as all the daft gameplay. So yeah, it tickled me. I was laughing the whole time I was playing it.
Yeah, it's really goofy. It's a lot of fun. It is like oddly addicting too, right?
Yeah, and it's a perfect, simple VCS game. And I've got to respect anybody making a VCS game in this day and age and making it fun to play because it's quite a challenge to make a fun game on such a limited system. They've done it well, I think. It's nice.
Yeah, absolutely. This is really cool. I'm having a good run here. Now, did you record your high score?
I can't remember now.
I meant it. There's a pun in there.
There's so many games. I can't remember my specific score, but I did reasonably well.
Yeah. It also, yeah, you never quite reach the top. I don't think there's an end to this game, and I respect that. Oh,
I think that maybe if I would say a little bit of the thing is that maybe they should have put, I don't say a time limit or something, because I found out that you can play in a lazy way. You can always stay low without ever going up and just wait.
Well, yeah, I mean, there are refinements which you would do to the gameplay to make it into a full game. There are little tweaks, like I say, scoring tied to neck length, maybe a bit of warning when things are coming out of the bottom. Yeah, there are things you can do to make it a more complete game. But as it is, it's still really good and fun.
Yeah. It's definitely.
And it's so deceptively simple. Yeah.
Oh, I love the messages. You beast.
No, I like the overall presentation and how the game feels and looks is just very good for a VCS game.
If Llamasoft had made a VCS game, it would probably look something like this, you know.
All right. Well, it's not too late, at any point. If you guys want to, take a
You
breather
already
between,
made a VCS game,
we do.
actually, too.
Yeah,
we do
because
we do have the 2600 plus out there and the 7800 plus in the wild. So those play new 2600 cards.
I reckon Metagalactic Llama's Battle at the Edge of Time would work quite well on the VCS. Actually, I think you could probably do that on a VCS.
Yeah, maybe. Well, congratulations, Dr. Ludo. Really, really awesome entry. Lots of fun. Great surprise. I mean, who knew that number one was going to be a game that was for like a 2600 game?
And
It's a
we should
beautiful thing.
say that this has been really unanimous, but all of the three of us were thinking about this game as
Yes.
number one.
Absolutely. Yeah. This
Yeah,
was definitely
definitely.
the easy first place. All right. Let's move on to the next one. We got Mama Cabra by Martin Olivar Iranzo, who's from Spain. So I apologize if I butchered your name there. Here's what it says. Content warning, flashing lights, always the mark of a Llamasoft joint, right? Like if you don't have the flashing lights,
Flashing
what
lights,
do
loads
you
of
got?
particles.
That's what's even more impressive about Star Giraffe is that they didn't have any flashing lights. I mean, things flashed to the extent they could, but not quite as extreme. Anyway,
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
Mama Cabra is a goat space shooter. Move Mama Cabra with your mouse, shoot space foes, save sheepies, and smell the flowers. Made with Pico 8 for the iRebel Game Jam 2025, powered by Atari.
I want to point out in my particular case that I was actually one of the two of us that was a bit torn about this game, not because it's not good, but because there was another game that to me was really par with this, and I didn't choose Mama Cabra because of the Cabra. I want to be clear about it. But
was it like the intense parallax?
I mean, overall, I think it really feels quite a lot like a Llamasoft game.
Yes.
And also, it has different levels, different.
The Saving the Sheepies is very much like in Moose Life. They're even similar looking sheepies. Plus, it's got that Robotron font going and the Robotron expanding boxes there. And just loads of particles, loads of shooting, loads of sheepies.
I can say
what I loved about it
as well.
I was very impressed by honestly, like a really great tutorial from the jump. Like it tells you how to do every individual thing, and then you get into the game where it's like you have to do everything at once. Plus, they even got the Tempest interstitial game in there. The whole game is just, I think it was just really well done.
Yeah, I think it's very nice.
And the amount of things that it makes you do at one point.
Yeah, it's a nice overload. Llamasoft games are known for doing the beneficial overload thing, and I think it does that very well.
I lost some sheepies. I want to get to the mini game with where you fly through the rings, because that's classic. Oh no! At this rate,
but
don't know if I'll make it.
I want to say again that to me is really par at the second place with another game, but we will talk later. But it's been a difficult choice between the two.
Oh, it was hard. I mean, we spoke for a while. Oh man, I didn't even get to the minigame. Man, that was probably my weakest run, but I am running at a bit of a lag here based on when I play the game. Otherwise, a lot of stuff running my computer, so the frame rate's not ideal.
It needs a high frame rate, I think, because it's quite twitchy otherwise.
Yes, exactly. Any sort of delay or chugging is gonna cause some issues. Now, what's your familiarity with Pico 8? You have any familiarity with that? You guys?
With what?
Pico 8?
Isn't it
I haven't done
any
coding on it, but I've seen stuff on it. I like the idea of it, having this sort of little virtual platform which you can do cool stuff on. I mean, the chunky aesthetic is nice. It suits this kind of game very well.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's good.
And it gives you that retro vibe.
And it's nice to have a platform that's relatively easy for people to get into, and experiment with without sort of needing huge dev tools or anything. Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah,
I approve of this sort of thing.
there was a lot of variety of platforms. We have engines. You know, we had no. I don't think anybody was bold enough for an original engine and go the true Llamasoft way. But you know, Pico, of course, Unity. There was an Unreal project or two in there. There was some Game Maker.
Yeah, but to be
Um,
fair, also you say Llamasoft, but it's really many years we've been working on our engine, so it's not
Yeah,
something that came
we
out
did
of
put it
from.
this way. We didn't put it together in a week. That's for sure.
oh yeah, of course. Fair enough. That wasn't necessarily to discredit them or
No,
their
no,
work,
but
but
just saying to be clear, it's not something you put up in a in a week.
yeah, right. Don't die. Come on. I gotta get. All right, nice. I think this is the mini game. Nope. One more round. Um, yeah, but it was really cool. A few Godot games. I think that's been really interesting to the indie community as of late. I kind of messed around with it a little bit recently. It was I could see the appeal, but to have those rapid prototypes, like it makes these kind of game jams way more doable for devs. You know, to have all those tools set up. All right, here we go. Yeah, this is classic. This is which was the first Tempest game that had the ring flying through
Oh
intersection?
well, Tempest 2000 had rings.
2000 had it. Okay,
Yeah, the
got it.
bonus round. Flying the bacon, they called it, because I had like a scan of Jupiter, which I used to make the surface that you were flying over and under, and it looked like bacon. So it was always known as flying the bacon.
Okay, got it. Oh man. All right. Well, I'm having a much better run this time to show that I'm not completely incompetent. It's always interesting as I show my gaming prowess on these things. It ranges really from quite skilled to whatever the hell happened when I was playing the thing.
Well,
That was
decent.
the most embarrassing one. Yeah, not bad, not bad. So Martin, Olivar, Iranzo, congrats. Mama Cabra, great game. Now let's move on to the next one, shall we? Herd Nerd. And that rounds out the top three of the prize winners. So congrats to the three of you. And Herd Nerd is contributed by Matt Stefton of Liverpool. How do you feel about Liverpool? They're near you guys. You got you guys on good terms with Liverpool?
Yeah, Liverpool's quite. It's a nice town to visit. It's always interesting when you go up there. People are friendly.
It was the place where they had the Super Lamb banana.
Super Lamb Banana. It's the place where you can get booze delivered at any time. Booze and
They
fags
had the
delivered at any
Super
time
Lamb
of the day or
banana. I
night.
remember there was that art installation that was the screen between the lamb and the banana. I remember exactly the time that we were there when we were in that bar with that music we were playing. Exactly when we found out that you could have a booze, a cigarette, and reach us any time of the day by phoning a number.
Well, didn't expect to hear any of those words, but that's quite fun. I'm gonna look that up. Say it again. The what banana?
No, the Super
Super
Lamb
Lamb Banana.
banana.
The
It,
super
it
lamb
was
banana.
it was an art installation. I remember it was really like a hybrid between a lamb and a banana, yellow, put in a part of Liverpool, and it was the time we were going to see for Wipeout.
Oh
So
yes, I've seen this. I do remember seeing this. Yeah. Okay. Very cool. Hey, you know what? It's a rare situation where I'm just sharing a browser. Super lamb banana. So there you go, everybody. If you're watching the YouTube, you can see the super lamb banana of Liverpool. Yeah, there's multiple colors of the super lamb bananas.
I remember
So there
seeing
you go.
only the yellow one at the time.
That is the most banana-y one.
It is. It is. And if the logic of of this yellow lamb banana having red and blue parents, maybe yellow is the recessive gene. I don't know. Trying to figure out how that worked out, but quite lovely, quite fun. I like it. So everybody go to Liverpool and check out the Lamb Bananas. Now, I don't know if that had any basis on. I'm looking at the wrong game, so that was spoiler alert. But you could see the tabs if you're watching the video anyway, so don't really care too much. And this is from, again, Matt Stefton from Liverpool. And he says, "This is my entry in the iRebel Game Jam hosted by Atari / Jeff Minter." Big smiley emoji. And I guess that's a lamb emoji. Made over a few days between 11 to 18 April 2025. What is this? He says. I appreciate that. Herd Nerd, all caps, is a game where you control a smiley face and have to herd sheep. You must use your skill to maneuver the flock and then quickly jump on the backs of all the sheep to score as many points as possible. You can try as many times as you like. I've worked hard to add a lot of depth to the gameplay, and there are a few hidden things you'll find if you play well. It's an odd title. It's an odd little arcade game, which happens to be my favorite type. Have fun. Requires a controller. Got one of those right here. So connect those. Bam. And let's boot this up. So hopefully this works as well as it did as I was trying out before. Nice. Here we go. This is. Why don't you guys talk to this? What was your impression when you first started playing this?
Well, at first I was thinking, what am I doing here? It took me a little while to get used to the gameplay of it, but yeah, I kind of like it. I like the way that you can get successively higher bonuses by jumping on more and more sheep. The only thing which alarmed me a little bit was that one of the controls is called whipping. And this is something I would never actually do to a sheep. Maybe I might guide them gently in a direction, but whipping is not something you should ever do to a sheep.
There you go. So clean that up. We are anti. This is an anti-sheep whipping podcast / contest, but that just shows how good the game is at that point. And it's just like a really cool concept. I thought it was very unique. You know,
Yeah,
you could kind of classify a lot of these other games as this is a shooter, this is something else, but this is the one where it's like I don't even know how you would classify this. It's a platformer of sort. Yeah, go ahead. What would you take a stab at?
There is a game that is a little bit infamous. I don't know if you ever heard about it. That I don't say as a similar concept like Color the Ship, but or Herd the Ship. Have you ever heard of a game called Swem Bomvolen?
No. Is that a real game?
You
Okay.
know, Jeff, which one it is.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, it's a German game, an infamous German game.
Oh. So do you want to describe it? Is that going to get us banned on YouTube?
Well, let's say you have to jump on sheep, but not to color them.
Oh
And you
Yeah,
have
no!
to
see,
Oh no!
you're a ram, and you have
Oh
to
okay!
look after your
Oh
lady.
okay!
You have to look
All right.
after. Just leave it at that. You have to look after your ladies.
Yeah. Thank you for saying you're a ram. I was very concerned for a moment.
No, it's very
I
well
mean,
done. It's like very
I'm still
cartoonish animated
concerned.
graphics. I don't know if it's still around, but it used to be years ago. Pretty famous.
That's funny. So there you go. Maybe this was inspired. I don't know.
No, I think
All
he
right.
invented it completely by his own.
Yeah, I don't think. No, I don't think it's anything to do with the German thing.
I don't think he even knows
But,
or heard about the game.
no, the gameplay mechanic was quite different. Well, obviously, it involved jumping on sheep, but it didn't have any of the other stuff.
I didn't even see where you saw it say whipping the sheep.
Well, just in the list of controls, it says it. I mean, that
In the controller.
yeah, that the thing. One of the controls was called the whip. It doesn't look like a whip on screen. It doesn't look like the sheep
No.
are being whipped in any way. But I would have just called it
Is it the
something
one
else.
also you can activate the lightning? Or I'm confusing it with another game.
I think you confused that with another game. Yeah, this is this is just a lot of fun. This is also very addicting. It's super simple, but it's like just a fun little concept, little arcade game, as he was saying.
I think what
So
impressed me of this game it looks like it's almost like really a complete game. It's very well done, like presentation, interface, and all.
I guess if there's, I've not been able to. Oh man, I have not been able to get all of the sheep in one go. I would imagine that is, I mean, it's incredibly difficult to do, but I do wonder what happens if you get there. But yeah, bunch of fun. Congratulations. Anything else to say about this one, guys?
No, I just think it's really cute. It's very nice.
One thing
And I
is,
think
I don't
again,
know how people are going to. It has a really nice music as well.
hey,
Yeah, it's very chill, and you can hear that as well. I don't know how much that's going to come through on the YouTube channel, but yeah, it's very chill and relaxing. It's just fun. It's just a fun game. Sometimes that's all it takes, just a fun experience.
well, the game with sheep really should be chill and relaxing because sheep are by their very nature chill and relaxing.
Yeah. Well, Jeff, I'm gonna save your personal choice for last. Okay, because I think we're gonna go on a journey on that one. So our first special mention is gonna go to Hyper Sheep 3000. So Hyper Sheep 3000, again, to kind of explain how the what was submitted here. That would be by, where is this? Jeff Murray, Canada. I love your syrup. Hyper Sheep, eat all the biscuits. He says this game was made in a week for Jeff Minter across Atari Game Jam, and the theme was the perfect beast. It is designed to be played in VR on a PC for maximum particles hitting your face. Now, there is a non-VR version. I will say that I did play the non-VR version just because I didn't have the means. So I appreciate that. I don't know if that's breaking the rules, but you're going to get the same reward as everybody else that submitted. So you're not top three. So I don't feel too bad about this. The game story. Everybody knows that the best way to get biscuits is to butt into the person holding them, and Jeff Minter is no exception. This sheep is reminding Jeff to feed them biscuits, whilst at the same time dreaming of being an intergalactic space hero, a hyper sheep. Some might say the perfect beast. Goal: eat all the biscuits in both the dream world and reality. Switch between reality and dreams to consume as many biscuits as possible and keep Jeff's biscuit pocket stocked up. Excuse me. Eat hyper custard, hyper cream, hyper biscuits for a power up. I mean, this is a lot here. Should I read the story so far? Should we keep going? All right, let's. Yeah, why not? Because it's silly. This is for audio listeners. This one's for you. Hyper sheep fly through space defending hyper biscuits from the evil greboids out of planet consumerism. Consumerism, I get it. The greboids are a collection of inanimate objects that have come to life just to eat your biscuits. Luckily, in the dream world, hyper sheep can fire lasers out of their heads. Protect your biscuits at all costs. He also writes your, Y-E-R. Switch between the real worlds. Yeah, we did that. Okay, cool. So careful though, because when Jeff's pockets are empty, it's game over. How do you keep Jeff Minter's pockets full of biscuits? Hyper biscuits, of course. As every hero sheep knows, whenever you eat a biscuit in the real world, it spawns 2 hyper biscuits in the dream world. Eating a hyper biscuit makes a new biscuit appear in Jeff's pocket, so eat as many biscuits as possible in both worlds to keep the biscuits flowing. All right, let's play with the controller. It says Xbox controller. I apologize. I am using a Stadia controller just because I like the shock value every time I say it. All right, here we go. Let's see here. Is this even going to work with my Stadia controller? Probably not. Probably not. Bam. It's not. Yep, not going to work with that. Hell yeah. The first time I switched to the space world, it was like a jump scare. It was good stuff. So what do you guys
For
think of
me, it
this
was
one?
actually I done it worse because I was looking for the shooting button and I was keeping pressing A and I was switching between the two walls. I couldn't exactly understand what was going on.
Get your custard cream. There we are.
Yeah.
And I have to like any game where part of the objective is to butt me up the arse to make me drop biscuits.
It is
Okay, you've got
it is
hyper
quite
biscuits now.
special.
You should switch. There you are. Get your
Yep.
hyper biscuits.
There we go. Flying around. He is right. This is better played with a controller. Unfortunately, my Xbox controller that's in front of me has a stick drift, so that's why I got to use this one. All right, no more biscuits here. Let's get some more biscuits.
Yeah, butt
Bam.
me up the arse. Eat the biscuits.
Is this a relatable experience? Do they ever kind of go after you? The sheep ever go after you to get their biscuits?
Well, I mean, we do have a couple of sheep that you've got to keep your eye on. It's more of an affectionate tap really than something to force you to drop biscuits. But yeah, you've got to. If you walk in a field with rams, you've got to keep one eye behind you. Put it that way.
I'll bet.
Yeah,
I mean,
it could
it's
be
in
an
their
affectionate
name.
tap, but it could be an affectionate tap to project you a couple of meters away.
The music switch is good. This game's great. It really is.
Yeah, it's nice.
It's quite
Very
fun.
well presented. I like a game which you can play in VR as well. I mean, I'm always going to like that because that's what I like for our games. You know,
Yeah, for sure.
get your custard cream.
You got it. You got it.
Butt me up the
Imagine like
arse.
playing it in.
Careful, you have only one
Oh, no.
biscuit.
Come on. Come on. Oh,
So
no. Game over.
I like at the end that Giles comes out and gives you a bale of hay.
Oh, damn. I missed it. I went
And
too
you
fast.
skip past him getting bale of hay.
I know. I screwed that up. Let's see here. I could give another shot here. Like I said, it's tougher to play with. He's right. Play this with an Xbox controller. Now, usually the controller I was using gets red. Oh no! Stop eating my biscuits. I need them. Yeah.
Hyper biscuits.
By the way, the amount of times I tell the story about feeding your sheep and the llama the digestive biscuits, definitely one of the highlights of my European trip last year. Yeah, this is just fun. It's super addictive, lots of fun, really clever and creative and silly. The perfect beast theme, well thought out. This is a close one, I think. When we look at
it's definitely
all
close.
the games, and that's the thing. It was not a quick decision, and that cannot be overstated. No, all right. Well, that
Okay,
worked
let's
out
see
well.
1 second the final thing.
All right, here we go. I'm not going to press anything. I'm not pressing anything. Sorry, no more biscuit left, but Giles is here to bring you some hay. Yay for hay. What a great day. Press fire to play. I think you did a great job with Voxel Ivan.
Yeah, I would say only one minor thing about this game I would really appreciated it because I actually was playing the game. I didn't check everything on the website. If it would have put just one little screen in the start with a couple of lines explaining a bit better what you had to do, because basically I have to admit I didn't start the game and it's like I don't understand exactly what you're supposed to do in this game. Then I figured out a little bit about playing, but it would have been nice to have just 3 or 4 lines in the start when it says you exactly what you have to do.
But it's interesting that you say that if you played a Llamasoft game. And you guys flash a lot of instructions and things like that. But I think there's a lot of stuff that people are like, oh, yeah, right, you can do that, you can do that, you can do that. That's not a knock. I love the games, of course.
No, the game is really
basically,
good.
you have to consider like back in the old days. I mean, you had to kind of work out how games worked. Mind you did have a track modes for that kind of thing. A track modes are
That's
almost
true,
a lost art now, aren't they?
Yes.
Not many people
yeah,
do
they
track
definitely
modes
are.
anymore.
Well, not in. It's rare. I love that you guys do it. but that also stays true to that kind of classic arcade roots. But the that idea of discovery in games, and that you kind of have to. I mean, I'm not knocking Ivan's take here, because it's very abstract and it's unique, and it's hard to pick up and say, oh yeah, this is actually what's supposed to happen. But we got so accustomed to, I think, in modern games, of them being like, okay, now do this, now do this, now do that. Like Mario Brothers didn't tell you to press the A button. You just press the A button when you ran into the mushroom and be like, I mean, you ran into a Koopa or a Goomba, and it's like, oh, I could jump over that. Oh, I could hit that. Oh, right, I could hit that. Cool. And you figured it out. It's there is an art to it, but this is very abstract, and yes, it takes a little while to understand, but still quite enjoyable. Very nicely done. Uh, Respect to you, Jeff Murray of Canada.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
it
mean, it
definitely
looks
wasn't
good, sounds
contender for
good,
the third place.
and yeah, it's got butting me up the arse as a game mechanic. You've got to love that, really.
Really funny. All right, the last of our honorable mentions is Captain Beast, and we're gonna have some fun here. I mean, we've been having fun so far, right? So we're gonna continue to have some fun, I would hope. And Captain Beast is the last game we'll show here. Here's what it's, and this was submitted by, 1 second here, by Andrew Gillette or Gillette, one of those, of the UK. And this is Captain Beast. Humanity is at a crossroads. They fight over plots of land. They kill each other over small differences. They use LLMs to decide tariff rates. Something is needed to unify the species, something we can all rally around. We need to find a perfect beast. There must be one out there in the universe somewhere. All we have to do is find it. Good luck, Captain. Created for Atari's iRebel Game Jam, celebrating the career of Jess Minter. Theme, A Perfect Beast. Inspired by Captain Blood, 1988, Atari ST. If you enjoyed this game, check out my main project, Reality Drift, on Steam. Go check out Reality Drift on Steam. By the way, I'll link to all these web pages, so if you want to go and play them for yourself, you can. They're up. They're free. They're fun. In addition to all the other games that were submitted. Let's see. Where are my folders? I am super prepared. Professional podcast. All right, Captain Beast. Full screen. Yep, there we go. All right. Who wants to be at the helm here? Because you guys can guide my hand and what I select here as we're playing Captain Beast.
Yeah, I think it's fairly straightforward, isn't it? So let's just see what we've got.
Well, there's a lot of choices. Captain, wake up. So this game, by the way, is like it's like a text adventure of sorts. So someone is talking to you, and it says, "This is your ship's computer, the Undulant Zero. For reasons I don't have time to explain, you have lost your memory. Love it. Love a good amnesia story. It is imperative that we resume our mission. A lot is depending on this. You have been assigned a vitally important task. Humanity is at a crossroads." And they're just going to repeat the things that I said before. There must be one out there in the universe somewhere, a perfect beast. That's what we're looking for. The bridge is yours. So we're looking at the bridge. We have the options to warp, open comms, or destroy planet.
You also have your cargo bay. Don't forget your cargo bay.
And we got the cargo bay to teleport up. So first things first, I'm going to...
Okay, well, open
what do you want to do?
By all means. I'll probably just tell you how things are terrible. Okay,
Captain, there's no response from Earth. They're too busy fighting each other. Ain't that the truth? However, there are some items we could teleport to our cargo bay. They could prove useful later, but we only have space for one item at a time. Teleport up. Here we go.
Get the curry.
Should I take the curry?
Yeah.
All right. Now we got the curry. Should I warp around?
Yeah.
Let's warp. I got the Barnyard Star or the Actaurus.
Barnyard Star, I think.
Barnyard Star it is. Here we go. Let's see what they have to say. Oh man, dude, no way! It's a human. I love humans. They're so dumb, but so adorable. My name is Godifer. I'm the owner of Barnyard Star. This is a corporate star system. I'm the boss, but I'm a fun boss, so it's fine. You're looking for a perfect beast? Look no further. I'm it. Not only am I a fun goat to hang out with, but I'm also rich, and all of my subordinates love me. They love me so much that they don't mind working in the crypto mines. They're about to mint a new NFT of my face. Yes, some of them have died of overwork, but it's okay because I'm making a lot of money. Gotta go, dude. I'm super busy. With running the star system? No, I need to spend some time laughing at some orphans. Catch you later. So,
No,
is this when you blew up the planet?
no.
No, don't blow up any planets.
Oh, see, I blew up this planet after I heard that guy talk.
Warp
No,
again to
you
the other.
don't.
Now I feel bad for the orphans, but all right. So I guess I got to warp. Should I go to the next one, or am I giving
Axelus.
him the curry?
No. Keep the carry. Go to Axelus.
All right, here we go.
Where is the ox? Is it?
Here we go. What is the meaning of this? You have entered the space of the Bull Dominion. I am Bully, the leader of our planet. You do not have permission to be here. I am preparing to charge at you. I'd be charging already if I weren't so hungry. Leave before it's too late. Oh, well, here we go.
Teleport down the carry.
That's right. What is this, human? I do not need your charity, although. Yes, this does smell good. I will grant you that. Just give me one moment. A most excellent meal. You say this is called curry? I am commanding all of our scientists to cease work on weapon systems and to redirect their efforts to studying this new form of nosh. You have pleased me, human. You are welcome to visit our planet anytime. I will also share something with you. Our legends speak of a fabled star system. Unfortunately, we only have the galactic X coordinates of the system. We have uploaded this number to your computer. Thank you, human. Visit us again sometime. All right.
I have to
Now
go
we
back.
gotta go and
Has to go back
back
to
to
Earth.
gotta get some stuff for this monster on the other thing. All right.
You want the
So what do you
plushie?
think this guy needs?
I think it's the plushie next,
The
isn't it?
plushie?
And then
Maybe.
you can
All right,
walk.
here we go. Let's go to back to the barnyard. Yeah, it's good stuff. If you're wondering where I'm saying all this stuff, I'm just reading the text here. Let's see. Teleport down. Dude, no way. I had an ox like this when I was a kid. I love it so much. I never loved anything like it again. This is the goat, by the way. Godifer, right? That was his name. At some point, maybe I lost the ability to love. I was so empty. I could only cope if I sought the adoration of strangers. I lost touch with what it really means to be a goat. I became cruel and heartless. This is a wake up call. I'm going to do things differently from now on. I'll let my employees form a union and restore funding to the dying kids. Thank you, dude. Let me give you something in return. One day, many years ago, a mysterious stranger came to me and gave me a piece of paper. On the paper were written Y and Z, each followed by a number. He said it was important, but he didn't explain why. Here, take the numbers. Maybe you can figure it out. All right, I got some numbers. So now I got to go back to Earth. All right, teleport up. I got the 3D printed hay bale. Well, who am I taking this to?
To
Oh, I got a
Wool
Wool
359.
There we go. New planet. Now, should I talk first or should I teleport it down first?
You can talk first, yeah.
No, let's talk first. Greeting, Captain. My name, in truth, I do not know. I was created a long time ago by a power I do not understand. They created me so that I'd appear differently to each person. Often I appear to people as someone they used to know. But I don't have the memories of that person I appear as. None of that Black Mirror shit. To be honest, I'm not sure how I feel about it. But people sometimes find comfort in seeing their loved one again. When people come to see me, they're often on the wrong track in life. I try to help them, give them advice if I can. But recently, I've lost my mojo. Maybe I've been doing this too long. I'm sorry, Captain, but I can't help. Oh, well, sounds like this guy needs a 3D printed hay bale. Which I have. Captain, this object. It seems somehow familiar. I don't know how, but it has awakened a memory. There was a planet called Earth. and there was a field, and there were others like me. I don't know if it's a real memory. Maybe it's just another artifice by my creators. You say Earth is in trouble? I want to help. I'll come back there with you. I'll speak to all humans. Maybe I can persuade them to change their ways. I don't know if it'll work, but it's worth a try. And when I'm done, I'd like to visit that field again and see if I really remember it. Thank you, Captain, for giving me a new purpose. Let's return to Earth and give humanity a kick up the old arse. Very sweet.
Yes, I thought it was lovely because Flossie is the perfect beast, or she was.
Yeah.
I was quite emotional when I saw her again. There's the savior of Earth.
Oh, that's good. Love it when a game gets to, has that emotional resonance. So thought that was a good place to end on. Thank you for that, Andrew. And, to everybody else, really great submissions all around. I will mercifully spare these guys from playing any silly trivia games this week, largely because I didn't really have time to prepare anything. And, just how it goes sometimes. Just wouldn't fit with the flow. This is about you guys. This is about the game jam. This is about all the contributions. So thank you so much to everybody that participated. Thank you, Ivan. Thank you, Jeff, for joining me yet again for these shenanigans. I had fun going through these. Sounds like you guys did too, and it was also fun to play these with you guys as well. Any closing thoughts before we leave? I think I already
The only thing
have
is to
here
say
where to.
there will be quite a few other games that we will need to be talking about, but because there being so many entries, there has so much potential, they were really good in my opinion. So, just I would like to quickly mention just that Alien Beast Inspector that was
Yeah.
and then just a second, the other one I can't remember. I remember in my notes.
All right.
I am
So
more
we're gonna get
Fall, but I really liked the atmosphere of this game. Reminded me quite a
yeah.
bit of Animal Wells, but I really like the atmosphere. There were quite a number of games that means being a really difficult choice, and there was quite a lot of good stuff, really.
Yeah. Yeah, that was so More Falls by Phil Rault. That was very cool, very interesting. The atmosphere part is very interesting for a 2600 game. I think that's a tough thing to capture. So that was very cool. Jeff, any other shout outs you want to make, honorable mentions
Yeah,
outside of what we showed
I
here?
basically everybody for having a go, but it's always good to have a go. There's no losers in this. But yeah, there were so many there. Unfortunately, we couldn't really fit all the ones which perhaps deserved a viewing into this podcast. I mean, there's stuff like Crackle Attacks. That was a very nice sort of twin shooter thing. What's the other one I enjoyed? Well, several I enjoyed,
Antagonist
but
was pretty good as well.
Crackle Attack
yeah,
by I just want to quickly park on Crackle Attack there. That is from a fellow Wales resident, Allison James, who also worked on Pong Quest for us. So shout out to Allison James. Sorry to cut you off.
let me
Go ahead.
continue looking over here. I've got my list. What was that one that was flying into the screen? What was that called? Hypercycle, was
Yeah,
it? Hypercycle? Something like that? Something cycle? That was quite nice
No,
and trippy.
Perfect Cycle. Perfect
Perfect
Cycle.
cycle,
Mikey
that's it,
Mikey
yes.
Higgs.
That
Mikey
was
Higgs.
very
He
nice. Yeah,
writes.
I've got to like anything where you get biscuits and cups of tea while you're playing.
Yeah, that was
let
always
me
nice.
see. Yeah, it was Crackle Attacks. It was in my list. Then there was Decagonist, but I like quite a bit.
I
I gotta give.
quite enjoyed Monarch of the Galaxy as well with the Vector Deer. That was nice.
Oh
Vector
yeah. Chris Malcolm, also the UK. You got a lot of fans in the UK.
Well, I suppose
Who would have thought?
it's where I am. So
Yeah, and I'll give a quick one to Ryan Silberman for "I Am Perfect." I was a big fan of that one. Really cool loop right there with some roguelike elements or roguelite elements, I guess, where you're getting upgraded and good use of the theme. Really was a big fan of that and the progression. It was cool.
I think probably the best bonus in any game was probably in Ungulator, where you had a fluffy bum bonus. Because in that game you had to fly around and put bits of animal together, and if you put one with a fluffy rear end, you got a fluffy bum bonus.
Yeah, that was by Martin Young in the UK. No, sorry, that was for Altered Heart. Sorry, I got Dario Saracino / Donny the Pony
Pony, we
from
like
Germany.
ponies.
Wait, did I read the wrong one again? Sorry, that was the wrong one. Undulator. Why do I keep reading the wrong thing? I'm sorry, the spreadsheet's too complicated. Sorry. Though that was for Beast Don't Sleep, but it was a fun name to read anyway. The one for Undulator was Simon Hazelgrove of Brisbane, Australia. I tried to pronounce that right for you. Brisbane, not your name. That one's all. Who knows? That could be anything. Yeah. Well, very nice. Very good. I mean, it'll be in the description. We've gone through it before, but where can people find you guys on the socials? If they want to reach out, follow you, say hello.
I'm Llamasoft _ox on Mastodon, and I'm the same thing actually on Blue Sky.
Follow Jeff on Blue Sky. Lots of fun if you want to see him lounging with the sheep.
Yeah, we do. Of course, there's YouTube. We do a morning sheep time every day.
Yeah,
And
it's a
I'm on
fun.
Mastodon as well. It's at the Jazz Goat. That's me. It's the only place where I am.
Very cool. Well, and you can follow me at Jays of Doom on Blue Sky. I'm basically just reposting and posting about various things going on in Atari. So you can do that there. Thank you for listening. Reminder, iRobot, check it out if you love these guys' work. Click the links to check out all the games that we were showing off today. And again, one more time, thank you and congrats to all the winners. And thank you for all the submissions. It's not an easy thing to put these things together, but the passion definitely comes through and we appreciate it. It was the first time we did this. I hope it's not the last. And like I said, look out for that missing Phantom episode of the podcast when it eventually comes out. Don't know when that'll be. But until next time, thanks for listening.